What's going on, guys? All right, let's get this set up. Give it a minute, let everybody join in. This is all screwed up. There we go. Let me change this real quick, and then we'll get going with our rules here shortly. This is up way too high. All right. Looks like we already have a bigger crowd than we had last night. There was a little something going on last night that prevented people from joining, I'm sure. But if you need a little break from all the outside noise going on right now, this is your perfect opportunity, because we're going to play some play at home trivia tonight. I am going to give you the rules here shortly for those of you, if there's any of you guys here that have not played before. Those of you who have played can take a few moments, go let the dog out, or go make a sandwich, grab yourself an adult beverage, whatever it is you got to do, but you know the rules, so we can meet back here in about 2 or 3 minutes while I go over the rules. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just getting the link for the score sheet. Let me throw that in the comments here before we get the rules going. There you go. All right. In the score, there we go. In the comments, I just posted the link if you want to print off a score sheet to use for tonight's game. Let's get to it. Let's start with our rules real quick. Here we go. We're going to play 5 rounds of pub-style trivia in the same format that we do when we get together in person. Usually on Wednesday nights, I'm in Mount Greenwood at the Firewater Saloon hosting in person with a great group of players down there, but we can't do that for the foreseeable future. So we got to go back to playing here at home. So we're going to play 5 rounds. First round is a picture round, followed by 3 specific categories, and then a round of general trivia. Each round is going to be made up of 5 questions worth 1 point each, and a typically harder bonus question that's worth 2 points. So I'm asking you 30 questions in all tonight. The game takes a little over an hour to complete. I'm going to read you the questions, and you are going to write down your answers on your score sheets at home. You can either go ahead and click that link in the comments and print out your own Play at Home Trivia official score sheet, or you can use any piece of scratch paper you've got lying around the house. It doesn't really matter as long as you leave enough room for 30 answers, and you group your answers together by round. So I'm going to read you the questions. You're going to write down your answers on your own score sheets at home. Please do not put any answers in the comment section. That is an important rule. Please only put answers on your score sheets. Use the comment sections for a little bit of trash talking or making fun of the way I pronounce any word that's got more than 5 letters in it. Whatever you need to do. I'm going to repeat all the questions to you. They'll be up on the screen as well as I read them. I'll repeat them after we go through them. And then I'll give you a moment to go over your answers, make sure you're happy with your final answers before I read you the correct ones. And you're going to score your own score sheets at home. So please, no cheating, no filling in blanks, changing answers, no Googling or anything like that. We're playing on the honor system, so no need to cheat. We're just playing for fun and a little bit of a distraction here on Wednesday night. At the end of the final round, after the general trivia round has been completed, you're going to add up the scores from your 5 rounds, and you're going to put your big final score on your score sheet nice and big, circle it so I can see it. Then you're going to take out your smartphones and take a picture of your score sheet, and you're going to send that picture to me. If you're playing on Facebook tonight, send it to me via Facebook Messenger, either the Trivia Nights with Greg account or to my personal account if we're Facebook friends. If you're playing on Periscope and you make it all the way through the end of the game, you can send me a message, direct message either on Twitter or post your picture in the comments. I'll see it there. Same thing with YouTube. If you're playing along on YouTube, take a little picture of your score sheet and put it in the comment section, and I'll be able to get your score. A perfect score tonight is 42 points. How do you get to 42 points with 30 questions? Well, you're allowed to double your score for any one of the 5 rounds we play tonight. And it's simply do that by after I read you the questions, but before I give you the answers, you circle your entire group of answers for the round you want to double. And then after I read you the correct answers, you give yourself twice as many points for that round. When we play this game live and in person on Tuesday and Wednesday nights, you have to turn in your score sheets before the answers are read for each round. So you do not have your score sheet with you when the answers are read. So you have to pick that double score option before you hear the answers. It's a little bit of a gamble. So in the spirit of the game, I ask you to do the same thing here. Please circle your answers to double before you hear them. Please don't wait till after I read you the answers and you say, oh man, we got all 6 of those right, let's double this round. Or please don't wait to the end of the night and then just pick the round you got the most questions right on to double. That's considered cheating. We don't like cheating. So the only 3 real infractions you can cause here tonight is putting answers in the comment section. That's a no-no. Cheating of any kind as far as looking up answers or changing answers once they're read, and doubling your score after the answers are read for a particular round. Please decide on the round you want to double before you hear the answers. And before we move on to our categories, you'll see scrolling at the bottom there across the screen, that is my PayPal and Venmo information. If you'd like to send a tip, that would be greatly appreciated. They are not required, but hosting live trivia and going scouting and covering hockey games are my 2 main sources of income, and right now I can't do either of those. So your tips will go a long way as we get through this second little bit of a lockdown here. So anything you can send would be awesome. If not, head over to the hockeywriters.com/author/G Boyson and click away. You'll get my daily hockey history posts there, my prospect reports, my Blackhawk reports. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming up in the future. Every click I get is more money they send me at the end of each month. So if you want to help out, go and read yourself some hockey history every day. Click on those articles. Plus, you never know when something from one of those history posts is going to pop up in a trivia question. So, all right, that's the end of the begging and the pimping for now. And now let's go to tonight's categories. Wednesday night, November the 4th, here we are. We've got our picture round game show hosts. I'm going to show you pictures of 5 relatively famous game show hosts. You're going to have to tell me who they are. Not the show they hosted, but the name of the actual game show host. November birthdays. This is a round we'll probably play a couple of times this month. Trivia questions all about some famous people that were born during the month of November. Marvel civilian names is round number 3. That's a multiple choice round, so don't worry. If you're not a big Marvel fan, I'm going to give you multiple choices, so you at least have a fighting chance to get some points. In that round, I'm going to give you the Marvel super civilian name of different superheroes. You then will get 3 choices of heroes or villains, depending on who they are, to choose from. You have to correctly identify each Marvel character by their civilian name. So that's a multiple choice round. TV weddings is round number 4, where I'll talk about famous weddings that happen on different TV shows throughout the years. Then general trivia is our final round. That is literally just 6 random questions. There are true, false, and multiple choice questions in our specific category rounds, but there are no true, false, or multiple choice in the general trivia round. Usually our games usually come down to that round, so I make that a little more difficult. I don't help you out with any multiple choice or true false, so keep that in mind when it comes to doubling your score. All right, those are the categories. Those are the rules. We got a nice little group in here. It looks like more than we had last night. So let's get going with our game. All right, shall we? I think we shall. Round number 1 is our picture round, as always, and we are doing game show hosts. So let's teleport to the showcase showdown and get us some game show hosts. I'm going to show you pictures of 5 different game show hosts. You just have to identify who they are. That's all I'm looking for. The names of these game show hosts. Don't care what show they hosted or anything like that. Just want the name. So let's start with game show host number 1. What is this gentleman's name right here? One of a few game show hosts of the Family Feud. I believe he was the second one when it made a comeback in the late 80s, early 90s. He might have also been a prison guard or cop in Overboard. Where's our Kurt Russell fans? Overboard. That horrible movie. I think Ray Combs was in Overboard for a little bit. I think he was. All right, here we go. Game show host number 2. This is a pretty easy one, I think. This guy was established before he became a game show host. Unlike other people in this round, he's not necessarily known for being a game show host. He was a pretty well-established stand-up comedian and germaphobe. Did the voice for Bobby. He created the Bobby character, Bobby's World, if you can remember that cartoon. That was all this guy as well. What's his name? Deal or No Deal is the game show he was on, and isn't he America's Got Talent or one of those shows too? Eventually, Deal or No Deal. Some interesting people who've gone on to become celebrities. Some of the Suitcase Girls have become famous. Maybe we'll do a round on Suitcase Girls and how they eventually became famous. Let's move on to round. Game show host number 3. Ooh, that's 1970s if I've ever seen it. This guy, I'll take the banner away for a second. Not that it makes much of a difference. I mean, that's the guy's neck. But this guy, you see Match Game. He hosted a whole bunch of different game shows in the 70s and 80s when the game shows were more popular. If you have the Game Show Network, you've probably seen this guy. I know this guy from... I remember back in the day, the USA Network showed nothing but game shows during the day. It was the USA Cartoon Express in the morning from like 6 to like 8 or 9 a.m. I used to watch that, eating my cereal or toast before going to school. They showed a lot of like Scooby-Doo and Hanna-Barbera cartoons. And then on days if I was homesick, I kept the USA Network on because it was all kind of cool game shows like Card Shark and Press Your Luck, all that fun stuff. This guy was part of that era. Game show host number 4. There she is, our only female game show host of the round. There she is, pointing that finger at you. You remember... I think they're bringing back this show. This was The Weakest Link. This was the original host of The Weakest Link. Do you remember her name? I think, didn't they, or maybe they already have brought this back. I think oh God, I can't think of her name right now. The Chicago lady. Jane Lynch. Yes, Jane Lynch, I believe, is hosting the new one. Yeah. Tattletales. I don't know that one. Was that it? Yeah. Okay. No, I do kind of remember that one now that you mention it, Carson. Yeah, that was one of those classic concentration. There were so many good game shows back in the day. We need better game shows. Now everything is like just, trivia questions and stuff. We need fun stuff. Trivia questions are boring. All right, here we go. Game show host number 5. Oh yeah, here we go. There's another guy, Tic Tac Doe, I believe was the name of this show. He was a guy who was on a lot of stuff back in the 70s and 80s. He's got a very memorable name, a total game show host name. You've heard this name before. I know you have. But yes, this guy has got one of the quintessential game show host names. I think he was also a disc jockey for a while, too, before the game shows. I think that's where he got his first taste of fame, being a disc jockey. So two professions that aren't really popular anymore, DJ and game show host. Most radio stations are just computerized now. All right, that is game show host number 5. I'm going to read you our bonus question for our game show host round. For 2 points, name the popular animated series for which Alex Trebek provided the voice for fictional game show host Alan Quebec. Clever. See what they did there? For 2 points, give me the name of the popular animated series in which Alex Trebek provided the voice of fictional game show host Alan Quebec. What popular cartoon was that a part of? All right, I am going to repeat these again for you. I'm going to show you these pictures again real quick in case you missed one or you need to see one again. There's game show host number 1, Family Feud guy. What was his name? And now we got number 2, Deal or No Deal, Bobby's World. What was this guy's name, or is this guy's name? He's still around. Here comes game show host number 3 at you a second time. 70s helmet hair guy. What was his name? This guy could have either been a 70s game show host or a 70s porn star, or maybe both. He's just missing the mustache. Get this guy a little pencil-thin mustache, and he's good to go. Here's number 4, the weakest link lady. Weakest link. What was her name? She points her finger at you. That's number 4. Here comes number 5. One last time for you. Another 70s, 80s game show icon. What is this guy's name? If you don't know it, as soon as I say it, you're going to groan and go, son of a biscuit. I knew that. I've heard that name before. And our bonus question one last time for you for 2 points. Name the popular animated series on which Alex Trebek provided the voice for a fictional game show host named Alan Quebec. Which show did Alex Trebek play Alan Quebec? All right, I'm going to give you guys a few seconds here to finalize those answers. If you want to double your points for this particular round, if you're a big game show guy or gal and you think you did real well, now is the time to circle. Just put a big circle around your entire group of answers for this round. and then you can give yourself double the points. If you don't want to use it for this round, you can use it in any one of our next 4 rounds. You can double your score for one of our 5 rounds, but now is the time to circle your group of answers if you want to use that option here for the game show host round. Otherwise, you still got November birthdays, Marvel civilian names, TV weddings, and our general trivia round to use that up in. So don't forget to use your double score option. All right, let's do our game show host answers for you, shall we? Here we go. Number 1, that course, Family Feud guy. I think he might have done a WrestleMania. Was he part of a WrestleMania? He might have been. This is Ray Combs, the late Ray Combs. He unfortunately took his own life a few years ago. Ray Combs was number 1. Number 2, everybody's favorite germ freak, Howie Mandel. Howie Mandel is number 2. Number 3, did you remember 70s guy? Man, look at that head of hair. That thing is freaking amazing. That's Bert Convy. Bert Convy is 70s guy's name. Number 4. Let's do this right here. Here's our weakest link lady, the only female of our group, Ann Robinson. Ann Robinson was her name. Number 5, where did he go? Do you remember this guy's name? If you didn't get it, you're going to punch yourself, because this is one of the most famous game show host names ever. Wink Martindale. Wink Martindale. It doesn't get more game showy than that. That is for sure. Let's see here. And our bonus question, let's get that up real quick for you. Got to get in the right folder here. Switching back between pictures and questions. Bonus question, 2 points. Name the popular animated series for which Alex Trebek provided the voice for fictional game show host Alan Quebec. That was Rugrats. I used to love that show. That was a good show. Rugrats. Is that available on any streaming service? If it is, I'm going to watch it again. I'll probably enjoy it more as I'm older. Rugrats. So those answers again for you. Number 1 was Ray Combs. Game show host number 2 was Howie Mandel. Bert Convy was number 3. Ann Robinson number 4. Game show host number 5 was Wink Martindale. And Rugrats was the bonus question answer. So that was round number 1. Our game show hosts picture round. Let's get into round number 2. It will be November birthdays. That's the wrong button there. November birthdays. So let's get in the mood for some birthdays. There we are. There's our birthday backdrop. This is a round all on famous people born in the month of November and some of the stuff and things they did after they were born. So let's get going on that. All right. Question number 1 for November birthdays. Here we go. What Vlad the Impaler and Bram Stoker were both born on November 8th, nearly 450 years apart. These two are both connected to the legend of what iconic character of books and film? Vlad the Impaler and Bram Stoker were both born on November 8th, nearly 450 years apart. These two are both connected to the legend of what iconic character of books and film? Pretty crazy that they were born on the same date and have been forever connected. Question number 2, Joseph McCarthy was born on November 14th, 1909. He led a major communist scare in the 1950s while serving as a senator from which state? Was it Wisconsin, Minnesota, or Indiana? Joseph McCarthy was born on November the 14th, 1909. He led a major communist scare in the 1950s while serving as a senator from which state? Wisconsin, Minnesota, or Indiana? What state was Joseph McCarthy a senator from? You got a 1 in 3 shot of getting that correct. Question number 3 for November birthdays. It's a true-false question. Pete Best, born on November 24th, 1941, was the original drummer of the Beatles. True or false? Pete Best, born on November 24th, 1941, was the original drummer of the Beatles. I have green Gatorade tonight, so it blends in with my green screen. I am mesmerized by the stupidest things in life, and that is one of them. Doesn't take much to entertain me. Shiny squirrels. All right, question number 4. Larry Flint was born on November 1st, 1942 in Lakeville, Kentucky. He is famous for publishing which adult magazine? Is it Penthouse, Hustler, or High Society? Larry Flint was born on November 1st, 1942 in Lakeville, Kentucky. He is famous for publishing which adult magazine? Penthouse, Hustler, or High Society? Back when Kentucky was cool. Gentlemen who are playing with their wives and or girlfriends, it's okay to answer this. She knows you look at dirty pictures. It's okay. We all do it. Ladies, we all do it. It's just part of our nature. Don't get mad when he knows the answer to this question, okay? It was long before he ever met you, and he hasn't done it since. Trust me on that. Don't want to get anybody in trouble or have anybody sleep on the couch on my behalf, so I'll vouch for you. Here's number 5. Ted Turner was born on November 19th, 1938 in Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the worst chili on the planet. He purchased which Major League Baseball team in 1976? Ted Turner was born on November 19th, 1938 in Cincinnati, Ohio. He purchased which Major League Baseball team in 1976? Nicely done, Carrie. That's kind of cool. I don't need to know any other details about that, but right on. All right, our bonus question. Here we go. James Naismith was born on November 6, 1861. While he is best known for creating the game of basketball, for 2 points, what very important piece of sporting equipment did he invent as well? James Naismith, born in 1861, is best known for the inventor of the game of basketball, but he also came up with what very important piece of sporting equipment? If you know the answer to that, you're going to get 2 bonus points. I will give you a clue. It has nothing to do with the game of basketball. But it is a piece of equipment that is still used to this very day in a sport other than basketball. That is your bonus question. All right, let me repeat these questions for you again real quick. Number one, Vlad the Impaler and Bram Stoker were both born on November 8th, nearly 450 years apart. These two are both connected to the legend of what iconic character of books and film? Question number two, Joseph McCarthy was born on November 14th, 1909. He led a major communist scare or witch hunt in the 1950s while serving as a senator from which state? Was that Wisconsin, Minnesota, or Indiana? Number three, true false, Pete Best, born on November 24th, 1941, was the original drummer of the Beatles. True or false, Pete Best, original drummer of the Beatles. Number four, Larry Flint was born in Kentucky in 1942. He's famous for publishing which adult magazine? Penthouse, Hustler, or High Society? Which one of those is Carrie's favorite magazine? Number five, Ted Turner was born on November 19th, 1938 in Cincinnati, Ohio. He purchased which Major League Baseball team in 1976? And if you've been to Cincinnati and you've had Skyline Chili and you like Skyline Chili, get out. You're banned. Minus 10 points. And I'll block your IP address. And our bonus question, one more time. James Naismith was born on November 6, 1861. While he's best known for creating the game of basketball for 2 points, what very important piece of sporting equipment did he also invent? James Naismith, he invented basketball and a piece of sporting equipment still used today in a different sport. If you know it, it's worth 2 points. All right, that wraps up the questions. I'm going to give you a minute here to finalize your answers. If you did well and you want to double your score and you didn't use it for the first round, go ahead and circle your group of answers right now. If you scroll up to the top of the comments, you'll see I put the link to the PDF for the new updated Play at Home Nights trivia sheet. It's pretty much the same thing. I just branded it a little better now that I've come up with my own font and look to everything, kind of keeping everything uniform. Yeah, so go ahead. You could save that on your computer. Some teams just fill it in every time on their computer and then send me a picture of their screen, or you can print it out, however you want to do it, because it looks like we're going to be doing our Play at Home games again for a little while. I know they said originally they're going to shut down indoor bar service for 2 weeks. It's going to be longer than that. I want to be optimistic, but it's going to be longer than that. If I get to do trivia again by the end of the year in person, I'll be happy. But honestly, I was just thrilled that it lasted to Halloween. I didn't think it was going to last that long. But it is what it is. So we're going to have to do the home games. We're going to be playing our home games, not every night like we did during the first quarantine, but we're going to be doing Sunday nights. And then we'll keep our normal trivia nights that we were doing, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Tomorrow night, we'll keep our Thursday theme nights. Tomorrow night, we are going to do an all-music night. All of our questions will be music-themed, all different kinds of music questions for you tomorrow night. Then we'll take a couple days off, come back Sunday night for another game of our random trivia. All right, here we go. November birthdays. Let's do our answers. Number one, Vlad the Impaler and Bram Stoker. I always want to say Stroker, but that's more of a Larry Flint character. They were both born on November 8th, nearly 450 years apart. These two are both connected to the legend of what iconic character of books and film? We are, of course, talking about Dracula. Vlad the Impaler is the figure that is loosely based, the character is loosely based on, and Bram Stoker is the guy who wrote the original Dracula book. All right, number two, gotta scroll back up here. Joseph McCarthy was born on November the 14th, 1909. In the 1950s, he led a communist scare while serving as a senator from the state of Wisconsin. Pretty important state the last 24 hours. But that's where Joseph McCarthy is from. Number 3, true or false, Pete Best, born on November 24th, 1941, was the original drummer of the Beatles. That is a true statement. He was in the band before Ringo. I bet you he regrets the day he left that group. Number 4, Larry Flynt, born in Kentucky in 1942. He's famous for being the publisher of Hustler magazine. Woody Harrelson played him in a movie a few years ago. People versus Larry Flynt. That was a pretty good movie, even though it had Courtney Love in it, and she's bad at everything. Number 5, Ted Turner was born on November 19th, 1938 in Cincinnati, Ohio. He purchased which Major League Baseball team in 1976? Had to get away from that Skyline Chili. He bought the Atlanta Braves, of course. Ted Turner, TBS, later WCW, TNT, all that stuff. Atlanta Braves, CNN too. So that should have been a relatively easy question. And our bonus question was a little bit tougher than that one. James Naismith, he was the inventor of the game of basketball, as well as the football helmet. James Naismith invented the football helmet, not the same one they wear today, and there's been some tweaks and improvements, but he invented the first football helmet. So if you got that one correct, you got yourselves 2 bonus points. Those answers again for round 2. Question number 1 was Dracula. Wisconsin was number 2. Number 3 was true. Hustler magazine was answer number 4. Number 5 was the Atlanta Braves. And the football helmet was our bonus question answer. So that is round number 2. We're going to move on to round number 3 of 5. Round 3 is Marvel civilian names. But don't worry, if you're not a big Marvel fan, you haven't seen any of the movies, or you didn't read any of the comic books, these are all multiple choice questions, except for the bonus question. So I'm going to give you a civilian name of a Marvel character. Then I'm going to give you 3 choices of which one it could be. You have to guess which belongs to the name given. So multiple choice, you got a 1 in 3 chance to get it right if you don't know it. Some of these you probably have heard of, even if you're not a Marvel person. We're going to start you off with a pretty easy one. I think even if you're not a Marvel person, Marvel fan, you probably can get this one. This is a pretty popular one. Number 1, Steve Rogers. Is that Iron Man, Hawkeye, or Captain America? Number 1, Steve Rogers, Iron Man, Hawkeye, or Captain America. Marvel civilian names. This is round number 3 on your score sheet. Does helmet count? Sure, go for it. I'll allow it. Steve Rogers, Iron Man, Hawkeye, Captain America. Number 2, they're not all that easy. They get a little more difficult. Number 2, Hope Van Dyne. Hope Van Dyne, is that the civilian name for Gamora, Wasp, or Captain Marvel? Hope Van Dyne, is that the civilian name of Gamora, Wasp, or Captain Marvel? Hope Van Dyne, Gamora, Wasp, or Captain Marvel? Number 3, Marvel civilian names, James Rhodes. James Rhodes, no relation to Dusty. Was that War Machine, Doctor Strange, or Falcon? James, Don't Call Me, Cody Rhodes, War Machine, Doctor Strange, or Falcon? Which one is that? James Rhodes. It was either War Machine, Doctor Strange, or Falcon. Let's move on to number 4, Pietro Maximoff. Is that Red Skull, Quicksilver, or the Collector? Pietro Maximoff, Red Skull, Quicksilver, or the Collector? Which character has that civilian name? Number 5, Peter Quill. Peter Quill, is that Spider-Man, Ant-Man, or Star-Lord? Which hyphenated character is Peter Quill? Spider-Man, Ant-Man, or Star-Lord? No, the bonus question, sorry. Bonus question for 2 points. Who provided the voice for Groot, who has no civilian name? Bonus question for 2 points. Who provided the voice for Groot, who has no civilian name? I don't know. This question really isn't related to the next rest of the round, but it is what it is. Who provided the voice for Groot in the Marvel movies? What is the voice of Groot's civilian name? There we go. That's how we tie it in. That's how we tie it in. All right. Let's repeat these again for you real quick. Marvel civilian names. Number 1, Steve Rogers. Is that Iron Man, Hawkeye, or Captain America? Iron Man, Hawkeye, Captain America. Number 2, Hope Van Dyne, Gamora, Wasp, or Captain Marvel. Hope Van Dyne, Gamora, Wasp, or Captain Marvel. Number 3, James Rhodes, War Machine, Doctor Strange, or Falcon. War Machine is the civilian name, or I'm sorry, James Rhodes is the civilian name for War Machine, Doctor Strange, or Falcon. Reading those segments out of order. Number 4, Pietro Maximoff, Red Skull, Quicksilver, or the Collector. Our boy Pete Maximoff, was that Red Skull, Quicksilver, or the Collector? Number 5, Peter Quill, was that Spider-Man, Ant-Man, or Star-Lord? Number 5, Peter Quill, Spider-Man. Was he Spider-Man, Ant-Man, or Star-Lord? And our bonus question for 2 points. Who provided the voice of Groot, who has no civilian name? Who was the guy that did the voice of Groot in the Marvel movies? All right, I'll give you guys a few seconds here to finalize your Marvel civilian name answers. All right, let's do our answers here. So, Marvel civilian names is the category number 3. Let's see how you fared. Steve Rogers, that of course is the civilian name for Captain America. Even if you're not a Marvel movie watcher or comic book reader, you probably have heard that at some point. Number 2, Hope Van Dyne. That is the civilian identity of the Wasp from the Ant-Man and Wasp movies. Number 3, James Rhodes. That is Tony Stark and Iron Man's buddy, known as War Machine, or what was the other one? Iron Patriot or some nonsense like that. War Machine. Pietro Maximoff. That is the really fast Russian dude, known as Quicksilver. Part of the twins, him and his twin sister, the Scarlet Witch. Number 5, Peter Quill. He, of course, is Star-Lord, played by Chris Pratt in the Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers movies. And our bonus question for 2 points, speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, who provided the voice for everybody's favorite tree human morphed together character? That is Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel did the voice of Groot, and honestly, it's the best acting he's ever done, because they limited him to just 3 words. Anything more than 3 words by Vin Diesel is a train wreck. So nicely done, Marvel producers. Vin Diesel did the voice of Groot. So those answers again are Captain America was number 1, the Wasp was number 2, number 3 was War Machine, Quicksilver number 4, number 5 was Star-Lord. Vin Diesel was our bonus question answer. All right, that's our Marvel round for the night. 2 rounds left. Remember, if you haven't used your double score option, you can use it either for our general trivia round or this round right here, TV weddings. Let's see how much you remember of your TV weddings. Everybody loves a good TV wedding. That's usually a sweeps week move by the networks. Take 2 popular characters, get them married. Everybody tunes in and goes, "Oh!" At the end. You get to use the "aw" track. Iron Giant was great. I don't think I've seen the Iron Giant, but now that I know Vin Diesel's in it, I guess Vin Diesel is better when you don't have to see his stupid face and his just meatheadedness. Make him a cartoon, he's fine. When he's in person, no, not so much. All right. Enough Vin Diesel hate for one night. That's possible. TV weddings is category number 4. Let's talk about some TV weddings. Number 1, which Grey's Anatomy character gave up her wedding day in order for Alex and Izzy to get married? What a sweet move that was. Which Grey's Anatomy character gave up her wedding day in order for Alex and Izzy to get married? Who's our good citizen we're looking for there? Hey, don't forget, if you're ordering out and you're getting some delivery or carry out curbside pickup these next few days, don't forget to think of a lot of our local restaurants that can't host you in person indoors, including Firewater Saloon in Edison Park and in Mount Greenwood. They are both doing carry out, delivery, and curbside service. So if you're thinking about ordering some food out, think of Firewater. Keep supporting them, so when it is time to get back to doing trivia in person, their doors are still open. We can all enjoy some more fun Tuesday and Wednesday nights. Just something to keep in mind the next few days. Let's keep our local restaurants open. Otherwise, it's going to be nothing but McDonald's and Burger King forever, and nobody wants that. Number 2, What namesake of a spin-off series of the Mary Tyler Moore Show had to take the subway in her wedding dress in order to marry her husband Joe? Was that Alice, Rhoda, or Maud? What namesake of a spin-off series to the Mary Tyler Moore Show had to take the subway in her wedding dress in order to marry her husband Joe? Was that Alice, Rhoda, or Maud? Which one of those characters has a spin-off named after her of the Mary Tyler Moore Show? Those are all names of TV shows and characters, but which one was the spin-off of Mary Tyler Moore? Taking the subway in your wedding dress. That doesn't sound like fun. Taking the subway, period, these days doesn't sound like fun, especially in a wedding dress. Number 3, true or false, Jim and Pam from The Office got married at the Grand Canyon. True or false, Jim and Pam from The Office got married at the Grand Canyon. Number 4. What soap opera's wedding of Luke and Laura brought in more than 30 million viewers? Was it General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, or All My Children? What soap opera's wedding of Luke and Laura brought in more than 30 million viewers? That's a lot of people. Was it General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, or All My Children? Number 5, the debut episode of what 1970s series featured the wedding of its 2 main characters? The debut episode of what 1970s series featured the wedding of its 2 main characters? Or I should say 2 of its main characters. The debut episode of what 1970s series featured the wedding of 2 of its main characters? And our bonus question for TV weddings, for 2 points, name the couple from the first season of The Bachelorette who got married in 2003 and are surprisingly still together. Bonus question. For 2 points, name the couple from the first season of The Bachelorette who got married in 2003 and are still together. You need both names for the 2 points. I don't care about last name. If you know it, you know it. Just first names of the couple from the first season of The Bachelorette who got married in 2003 and are still together. Have a few kids, I think, at least 2 or maybe 3. I don't know. I don't watch any of that nonsense. It's dumbing down our society, but if you like it, good for you. Looking for the name of the couple from the first season of The Bachelorette who got married in 2003 and are still together today. First names only. I don't care about a last name for them. All right, let's repeat our TV wedding questions for you real quick in case you need to hear them again. Number one, which Grey's Anatomy character gave up her wedding day in order for Alex and Izzy to get married? Number two, what namesake of a spin-off series to the Mary Tyler Moore Show had to take the subway in her wedding dress in order to marry her husband Joe? Was that Alice, Rhoda, or Maud? Alice, Rhoda, or Maud? Who rode the subway in her wedding dress? Number three, true or false? Jim and Pam from The Office got married at the Grand Canyon. True or false? Jim and Pam from The Office got married at the Grand Canyon. Number four, what soap opera's wedding of Luke and Laura brought in more than 30 million viewers? Was that General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, or All My Children? Was it General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, All My Children that had the big Luke and Laura wedding? Number five, the debut episode of what 1970s series featured the wedding of two of its main characters? And bonus question for 2 points. Name the couple from the first season of The Bachelorette who got married in 2003 and are still together. Who are the Bachelorette couple? First names only. I mean, you could write the last name down, but I don't. That's not required. All right, that is the TV weddings questions. I'll give you a few seconds to finalize those answers. Once again, you see scrolling there is the PayPal and Venmo information if you would like to send a tip. Not required, but surely appreciated. Things are going to get a little tight these next few weeks until I can get back to hosting trivia. That has been a nice little bonus, especially now since there's no extra money coming in from scouting events for hockey or getting out to the arena to cover the AHL games. There's always a little extra money there. But since there's no hockey being played, can't pick up any cash there. So anything you'd like to send on our Play at Home nights is greatly appreciated. I get it. We're all kind of struggling these days, so don't feel obligated. All right, number one, let's do our answers. TV weddings. In which Grey's Anatomy character gave up her wedding day in order for Alex and Izzy to get married? I don't know any of these people, but it's some kind lady named Meredith. Meredith is who we're looking for number one. Number two, who was the spinoff character from the Mary Tyler Moore Show who had to take the subway in her wedding dress? That was Rhoda. Remember Rhoda? That was the great Valerie Harper. Played that character on the Mary Tyler Moore Show and got her own her own show, I should say. Alice, of course, was a waitress at Mel's Diner, and Maud was Bea Arthur. That was a spinoff of All in the Family. But Bea Arthur was Maud before she was Dorothy from the Golden Girls. Number three, true or false, Jim and Pam from The Office got married at the Grand Canyon. That is false. I got to remember that The Office takes place in upstate New York. Where do you get married when you live in upstate New York? You get married at Niagara Falls. That's where they got married, not the Grand Canyon. Number four, what soap opera's wedding of Luke and Laura brought in more than 30 million viewers? That ratings blockbuster big-time hit was found on General Hospital. General Hospital is your number 4 answer. Number 5, the debut episode of what 1970s series featured the wedding of two of its main characters? We're talking about Mike and Carol, the Brady Bunch. Their first episode was the wedding that joined all those little hood rats together. And a bonus question for 2 points: name the couple from the first season of The Bachelorette who got married in 2003 and beat the odds and are still together 17 years later. God bless. Trista and Ryan. Trista and Ryan are Trista and Ryan are our Bachelorette happily married couple. All right, those answers again. Number 1 was Meredith. Rhoda was number 2. Our answer for number 3 was false. General Hospital, number 4. Number 5 was the good old Brady Bunch. And the bonus question was Trista and Ryan Suter, I believe is their last name. Or is it Sutter? I don't know. It's a hockey player one way or the other. All right, that's our TV weddings. And now we're coming up to our final round of the night, general trivia. This is where I'm going to ask you some random questions. You're hopefully going to come up with the very specific answers I'm looking for in order to get some more points. Just going to give you the heads up right now. Since the games are usually very close heading into the general trivia round, there are no multiple choice or true false this round. You just have to give me the answers straight up for general trivia. So hopefully you've used that double score round already, because this one is going to be a little harder. These are usually some very random, kind of difficult questions, but this separates our top teams here, hopefully. So here we go, general trivia. After this round, you're going to take a picture of your final score on your score sheet and send it to me via Facebook Messenger. If you're playing on either Periscope or YouTube, you can post your picture in the comments. I'll be able to see it there, or you can just post your score. If that doesn't work, I'll trust you. Here we go. Number 1, general trivia, final round of the evening. What color is a flamingo when it is born? What color is a flamingo when it is born? Question number 2. What famous woman graduated from Radcliffe College in 1904? What really famous woman graduated from Radcliffe College in 1904? It was probably something nobody ever thought was possible, but she did it. That's kind of why she's famous, for a few other things, but graduating college made her very unique. Which famous woman are we talking about? What famous woman graduated from Radcliffe College in 1904? Number 3, what is the smallest sovereign territory in the world? Number 3, what is the smallest sovereign territory in the world? It's not a very big one at all. Number 4. What is the only metal to be liquid at room temperature? What is the only metal to be liquid at room temperature? We had 8th grade U.S. history last night. This is like some 8th grade science for you. What is the only metal to be in liquid form at room temperature? Question number 5. Which U.S. state has the most national parks? Which U.S. state has the most national parks? It's not Delaware. Which U.S. state has the most national parks? And our bonus question, our final question of the evening for 2 points. In which state is it illegal to show any movies that include police officers being struck, beaten, or treated offensively? It's a weird law. Bonus question for 2 points. In which state is it illegal to show any movies that include police officers being struck, beaten, or treated offensively? I could probably do a whole couple of rounds on weird state laws because there's a lot of them. I can't remember what state it is. I think it's Georgia. Maybe it's Georgia. One of the states has a law where it's still in the books. It's illegal for you to give your dog a cigar while walking it down the street. You can give your dog a cigar at your house, but it is illegal to have your dog smoke a cigar while walking on a public street. That's a real law in a state. I want to say it's Georgia. Could be somewhere else, but maybe we'll do a weird law night one night. We'll do around some funky laws. There's a lot of weird ones out there that were passed many moons ago and kind of forgotten about that are fun to look at. All right, let's repeat these questions for you one last time. General trivia, number 1, what color is a flamingo when it is born? Number 2, what famous woman graduated from Radcliffe College in 1904? Number 3, what is the smallest sovereign territory in the world? What is the smallest sovereign territory in the entire world? Got a geographical theme to this one a little bit. Number 4, what's the only metal to be a liquid at room temperature? Number 5, which U.S. state has the most national parks? Which U.S. state has the most national parks? And a bonus question. For 2 points, in which state is it illegal to show any movies that include police officers being struck, beaten, or treated offensively, whatever that means? In which state is it illegal to show any movies that include police officers being struck, beaten, or treated offensively? All right, I'll give you guys a couple moments to finalize your answers. Don't forget, once I'm done reading these for you, you are then going to add up all your scores and put your big final score down on your sheets and take a picture of your score sheet. Send it to me via Facebook Messenger so I can figure out who our big Wednesday night winner is tonight. If you're playing on one of our other platforms, either Periscope or YouTube, you can put your picture in the comment section. If you're on Periscope and you follow the link through Twitter, you can send me a message on Twitter with that. I don't know if there's messages on YouTube. I'm new to the YouTubes. But if you post it in the comments, it will pop up on my screen and I'll be able to see it there. All right, let's do our answers before we get to sending me your score sheets. I need to give you the final answers. Here we go. Last round of the night. Number one, what color is a flamingo when it is born? It is white. It is a white flamingo when they are born. Eventually, they turn pink. Number two, what famous woman graduated from Ratcliffe College in 1904? It was kind of a big deal. Helen Keller is who we're talking about. Helen Keller. Number three, what is the smallest sovereign territory in the entire world? It's basically just a few blocks. Vatican City. Vatican City is a sovereign territory, and that's the smallest one. Number four, what is the only metal to be liquid at room temperature? We use it in our thermometers. Mercury. Mercury. Just don't touch it. Number five, what U.S. state has the most national parks? Think about states that just have a lot of mountains and wilderness. It is Alaska. Alaska has the most national parks. And the bonus question for 2 points. In which state is it illegal to show any movies that include police officers being struck, beaten, or treated offensively? When I've used this one in our live games and I have a picture clue, you probably put a picture of like Wall Drug next to it, because that would give you a clue that it is South Dakota. You cannot show any movies with the police being treated unfairly in South Dakota. So there you have it. Those answers again was number one was white for our flamingos. Number two was Helen Keller. Vatican City was number three. Mercury, number four. Number five was Alaska. They have the most national parks. And the bonus question was South Dakota. All right, so start adding up those scores and start sending them to me via Facebook Messenger or Twitter DM or post it in the comments. Any way you can get me to see it is fine. Just send that over to me. If you're sending it to on Facebook, you can do to either the Trivia Night with Greg account, the trivia page, or my personal account. It doesn't matter. They both meld into the same thing. So I'll get it. Also, if you don't like the Trivia Nights with Greg Facebook page by now, please do that. You'll stay updated on our categories every morning for our play at home games. That's the only place you can catch the stream. Because I added YouTube, I can't do it to my personal page anymore. So if you're on Facebook looking for the stream, it's only through the Trivia Nights with Greg. Plus, I'll have updates there on when we get back to playing Tuesday and Wednesday nights in person. All that fun stuff can be found there. And you also can get a score sheet. So if you don't like the page already, please do. All right, we have some scores trickling in here. Let's start getting them together so we can put them on our big scoreboard here. Team Rios, Joey and Anna, trying to make it 2 nights in a row. You were our Tuesday night winners last night. Thank you. We have shut up. We have Amber and the Titanic swim team. Thank you guys. I have your score. Oh, we have Rob and Teresa. Good to see you guys again. Hope you guys are doing all right. I have your score. Thank you. Nicely done. Let's see here. Let's check the other account. I think we have a couple waiting for me over there. Yes, we do. Yes. I know there's a cross-app messaging. You don't have to show me that every stinking time. All right, just waiting for this to boot up. While I'm doing that, let's see, 7-year itch and Jess, I have your score. Thank you. Carson, let's see what we got going on here. All right, Rose hose with no hose. Carson, I've got your score. Thank you so much for checking in tonight. And let's see here. STD. All right, I have your score. Thank you. All right, let's see what we got for a scoreboard here. I'll keep this open to make sure no one sends me the last couple times we've played, I've gotten people trickled in after I put the scores up. So, but, oh, there we go. See, I'm glad I switched over. I have Carrie in the Goonies. Thank you. I appreciate your support, guys. Thank you so much. All right, let's do our top 5 here. Let's figure out who our big winners are, shall we? Okay, we got that score. Then we have this score. Pretty close scores. All right. We have our top 5. Why am I doing that? Hold on. No. All right. Let me just put these in real quick, and then we'll announce our top 5. Bear with me for one moment. I don't need that. I need this one. I take that back. Last night's winners was STD, not Team Rios. Sorry about that. ST No D, I believe it was last night. Winners. Misidentified our reigning champions. My bad. And where's our winners? There we go. All right. Okay, here we go. Fifth place, our top 5 tonight. In fifth place with 33 points, Rose Hose Carson. Nicely done. Especially if you're only playing by yourself tonight. That's a pretty good score right there. 33, that's good for the top 5. We actually have a tie for third place with 34 points. Team Rios and the Goonies, 34 points. Nicely done. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for your support. As always, 34 points. That's a tie for third. Second place is Team ST Nodi. You guys, 35 points. So you won last night with that same score. Not quite good enough to get it done tonight, but second place ain't too shabby. Our winners tonight, where'd it go? There it is. We have Rob and Teresa back playing again and back in the winner's circle, 38 points. There's our big winners tonight. Thank you guys so much. Congratulations. You get our bragging rights for 24 hours. That wraps up this Wednesday night edition of our Play at Home Trivia Nights. We will be back at it tomorrow night at 7 p.m. right here on the same 3 outlets if you want to play along. Thursday nights is our theme nights. And this week we're doing music. We're going to have all music questions, all different kinds of music categories. If you're a big music fan, most of it's going to be, relatively current, 80s and beyond. So go ahead and join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. right here for our music play at home trivia night. Then we'll take a couple days off. We'll come back Sunday and then pick it up again next week. So like the Facebook page if you haven't already to stay up to date on everything trivia, as well as the Twitter account. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube page, just another outlet to where you can play along live. Plus, I'm putting up all the old games that we've played, so you can play some old games that you might have missed. Of course, those are all available on Facebook too, but I'm putting them on the YouTube channel as well. That's going to be a slow process because I can only do a certain amount per day. So we'll eventually get there. There's a few up there now. But until we see you guys again here tomorrow night, just be safe out there. Take good care of yourselves and one another. Wear your masks, please. And hopefully we'll be able to do this in person again in the very near future. Until then, we'll just do it right here again tomorrow night. See you guys tomorrow.